Hey folks, Dan DiMato here. I am back to talk about the glasses again. I know I've been a little bit of a hiatus, but that's because I don't use the glasses every day. And I also haven't really been following up on the comments. I think I've been uh, commenting or replying on some of the stuff as it's come up in the videos a little bit. But if it's something that's kind of already been asked or answered already, I've been skipping over it. But I've been talking about what I'm about to talk about for a while. That basically one of the major reasons why I was very interested in these glasses is the translation feature. So I mentioned the translation feature a couple of times in over the other videos, but um, it was kind of the main attraction to go to basically family dinner with my in-laws. Now my in-laws are Chinese, um, and they speak Cantonese, right? So that I think some of that is going to be important. And basically, everyone on that side of the family does speak Chinese except for my sister-in-law's husband. He's the only other person in the group that doesn't speak Chinese. So anyway, we went to a dinner in Brooklyn. Where you would find Chinese banquets and dim sum and stuff like that. So we had it for the autumn festival and all the mooncakes and stuff. And I brought the glasses, put the glass, had them on with me at the table. About 6 o'clock, I turned on the translation feature for um, Chinese to English. All right. And I sat there and I listened and I got very little out of translation. Um, Probably a couple things to attribute for that. I think possibly one of the main things, maybe, would be the fact that it's a restaurant, so it's noisy, and there's a lot of, conflicting information that might be being picked up on the glasses. So that's one thing that's might be affecting the translation feature. It's probably more accustomed to like a one-on-one kind of translation thing. Although I suppose like if you are having someone speak to you in that doesn't speak your language, I'm not sure how you would necessarily respond, unless they also had these glasses and were doing the reverse translation. But anyway, yeah. So I was hoping to, of course, get some translation at the dinner table, but very little. So that's number one. Um, what I will also say is that so my sister-in-law's boyfriend was sitting next to me. He's Chinese, is very good from what the rest of the family tells me, and he also projects a lot more than the rest of the family. The rest of the family kind of speaks a little softly, so it's probably even a little harder for the glasses to even pick up, just in conversation in the room, even if it was quiet. I would like to try that out at some point, of course, but haven't had the opportunity to. Maybe Thanksgiving could be an opportunity for that. But so I was trying to focus, the glasses on him as he was speaking to my mother-in-law, and I think there was only like two or three phrases in the hour and a half that I had these glasses on that picked up something that was coherent. Um, And again, I had the glasses on for an hour and a half. He was very talkative. He was actually talking to my mother-in-law about the wedding that he was just at with my sister-in-law. So there was a conversation going on in there. There was also, I think, talking a little bit about food. There was dinner table, and also potentially talking about the wedding dinner food. But there's talking about food in that thing. Um, so I got very little of that. The rest of the time, I got just kind of the loading icon, just listening kind of situation, but really not a lot of anything except for English. So when the table spoke English, I picked up the English pretty well. Again, I'm going to say about 90% accurate from, if you remember maybe a previous video, I mentioned it when I was talking with my wife just on the side. Um, and it was fairly accurate when it came to the English part, which was good. Um, but of course, I know English, so I don't need English to be picked up in the glasses. That's not really helping me. Um, I mean, it could probably help deaf people. I think we mentioned that maybe in a previous video. So, um, Now, one of the other things that was kind of interesting was that I had some people at the table try these glasses on. In particular, I had my sister-in-law, which is the younger one that has the boyfriend. I had her try it on, and more importantly, I had my mother-in-law try it out. Now, just for the backstory, my mother-in-law doesn't speak a lot of English, so it's really just Chinese for the most part. And um, when you have the Chinese to English translation in the glasses, you should see when you look, lower, you'll see the English, but when you look up, you'll see the Chinese characters. And she must have been looking up while it was going on because it did give her Chinese characters. So when she had the glasses on, I flipped it, and then I tried to speak directly at her, nice and pronounced and loud, so that the glasses could pick it up, and it did it. It translated the words that I said in English to Chinese that she could read on the screen, except there was quite a bit of a delay, right? So that was basically her feedback. Is like, it would be nice if it was faster, and that was a lot of people's feedback. It would be nice if it was faster, and also it doesn't need to pick up me, right? The person wearing the glasses, like that's the thing that I guess. I mean, I'm sure that the glasses are going to have difficulty not picking up the person who's wearing them because they are the closest things to the microphone. But you know, uh, it's not helpful, of course, for the person who's speaking to see that necessarily in the glasses, right? I mean, I guess it could be somewhat helpful just as in terms of recording the conversation that's going on, because that does go into the app. But you really want to be hearing or reading the other voices that are in the room. Now, the only other thing that I'll say that was interesting is that I mentioned that my brother-in-law, not my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law's boyfriend was sitting next to me. Is very loud. However, it didn't really pick up a lot of that. The only time it did was when I was looking at my phone. So I was looking down at the phone and kind of reviewing the messages that I've been getting, right? So I'm just kind of reviewing them and seeing, okay, well, there's really not a lot of Chinese that I was picking up. And while I was doing that, it was actually picking him up. So I don't know if it's a matter of the direction of the microphone that was being there. I tried to continue to look down while he continued to talk, and I didn't get a lot in the glasses. So I don't know what that was going on. Excuse me. I don't know what was going on there in particular. Um, but that was really the only time that I got some really solid results out of it. So, all that being said, a lot to be desired in the translation department right now. The only other thing that I want to mention as well, and I mentioned it, I'm pretty sure in previous videos, is that the entry inside of the translation for Chinese is the word Chinese. It's not being specific if it's listening for Mandarin or Cantonese or doesn't matter, right? Like it's entirely possible that it's just listening for both and hoping that it could figure out which one it is and then provide the correct translation, maybe, right? But it doesn't say specifically Mandarin or specifically Cantonese. Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. The things that it was translating apparently were fairly accurate for the folks that were actually trying these things on. But again, I mean, I don't know if the testing conditions weren't so great, or again, I talked about my in-laws not being so pronounced when they do speak, which is normal colloquial speaking that you would have normally, right? Like especially living in New York, like we talk fast, so it did a good job picking up the English for the most part. There's a couple of words that were a little weird in there, but it picks it up for the most part. But you know, what are you going to do? I guess. So I'm hoping that there's updates that are available in the future that make this better. And just to actually make sure that we know what version of this stuff that we're sitting on here is. This is sitting in software version 1.2.14 and firmware version 1.2.10. All right. And in fact, let's see if there's any updates with firmware. Check for update. Nope, no updates at the moment. Okay. So yeah, so that's what we got right now. The last thing I'm going to mention is the notifications. So it's the big pain point that I've had with me. about duplicate and even now triplicate notifications. I've gotten triplicate notifications in these glasses, when I first put them on, and actually right now there's 10 notifications. So let's go through them. Let's see. Oh, I'll probably just close that. Hold on a second. Okay. First notification, device pairing. Your messages are available on this device you've paired. Thanks, messages. Same exact notification, verbatim. And I can see the number go down. Oh, okay, closed. Hold on a second. Okay, opened. Okay, this is a Discord message talking about overcooked. Okay, so now Google Contacts backing up for contacts, I'm assuming. So it's a new one. Okay, it repeated that exact same notification, repeated it again. So I now have three of that Google Contacts backing up for. This is the fourth one now. Same thing. Fifth one, sixth one, seventh one. Wow, I've never had that. Okay. Same notification 7 times. What is the point? Right? I don't know what's going on in there. In fact, I mean, that's not even a notification that I really want. And that's Google Contacts. And let's look at the notification section in here to see if that's something that's connected that I need to pay attention to. So let's see here. Oh my God, there's actually a lot of things in here now. But the Google switch is off. Okay. Actually, just about everything is off in here. All right, I'll tell you what's actually on. So the notification filter, which has 5 things on the top, right? Has calendars on, call is on, messages is on, mail is off, and apps is on. So apps is the thing that's below that. All right. The only thing that's on underneath apps is Gmail, X, Twitter, Slack, Discord, LinkedIn, Smart Things, Voice, and GitHub. And that's it. So I'm assuming the contacts thing is probably voice. But of course, I want voice, which is Google Voice, by the way. I want that because it's the thing that has text messages in as well. I have text messages from there. But there's a lot of other stuff in here now. Actually, there's a lot of of the smart home stuff that I have that's connected as well. Um, but it's off. Like I said, it's off. So I only told you the stuff that was on. That's it. And again, my mail is off. So I was, someone recommended that maybe with the mail being on at the top and then the Gmail being on the bottom was like conflicting. That's not the case according to this. So I'm, open to suggestions about what to do about these duplicate or more notifications. It's like out of control. I really would like a single notification and for each time that it's there. I don't know what needs to happen in order to get that to work, but that's the thing that's been bothering me in terms of notification work. But past that, like I said, I don't really wear the glasses too often. I just again did it tonight because I knew that there was going to be an event that I could potentially test something. Um, but yeah, thanks for watching, and until the next one, maybe Thanksgiving, maybe earlier. Who knows? I have a couple of trips coming up, so I'll probably bring the glasses and see if there's anything that's helpful during that time. But um, like maybe navigation, right? The walking navigation. They're probably in places that I haven't been before. We're going to see if that works, and give you some updates there. All right. Catch you later.